Hello guys, if you're interested to know how I made these beautiful blazers, keep on watching. Welcome back to my channel. This is Fiends Vogue. If this is your first time coming across my channel, kindly hit the subscribe button. And to my Reggie, thank you so much for subscribing. This is the pattern for my blazer. And if you're interested to know how I drafted this pattern, comment down on the comment section so I will know if I will redo the video on how to draft these beautiful blazers. We'll be needing a cloth comb, the lining, and the main fabric we'll be using for this project. Have laid down my fabric and placed my pattern paper on my fabric. So as you all can see, I've already added my seam allowance at the side of the side front. The armhole I've added half an inch, the shoulder I've added half an inch on the pattern. So I'm only adding half an inch, that's to join the front center front with the side center front. That's where I'm adding half an inch. I've already added my seam allowance and other 0.5 on the pattern paper already. So we have laid down the back pattern on the fabric too. So we are adding half an inch at the center of the back, then half an inch also at the side to join the center back to the side back. So at the side of my back, I'm not adding anything because it's already added on the pattern. The armhole and the shoulder and the neckline, I've done the 0.5 on the pattern already. I'm laying two fabric together on fold, which is 4, to cut out both of my sleeves together. I will not be adding any seam allowance or 0.5 to any of the side of this sleeve because I've done that on the pattern paper. So I'm cutting the exact. So we are done with our main fabric cutting. So we'll go over to the lining and cutting the lining at the center front of our pattern. This is the center front of our pattern. We are using the same main material to cut it out. Then the rest will use our cotton fabric as the lining. So this is us cutting our lining out. This is the sleeve. Then we'll cut out the rest of the patterns pieces. These are our pattern. We have cut it out on our fabrics, so we are removing our patterns. We ironed cloth gum on the lining. So we'll be working on the main fabric of the center back. This is the center back, both of them. So we'll be sewing at the center. Remember, we gave our 0.5 for joining, so we'll be sewing 0.5 all the way down. Then we'll also bring out the lining, the center back. We'll place it together, match it together, the right side facing the right side. We'll sew our 0.5. We'll sew our 0.5. After sewing, this is how it will look. The main fabric will sew all the way down. Then this is the lining. We'll sew, then at the center we'll leave a space, then The space we are leaving is about 5 inches. You can go as much as 6, but 5 is okay. We'll sew down 0.5. We'll be sewing the side back together with the center back. This is the front, we keep aside. This is the side back. Remember, the one that has this white is our cloth gum, which is the lining. The main fabric doesn't have a cloth gum, so this is me arranging the main fabric first. That's the center back. I'm aligning them with our side back. We'll do the same thing for the lining. So we'll sew all the way down. After sewing, this is how it came out. This is the main fabric. This is how it came out too. The center back sewn with the side back. So the black is complete now. So we'll move over to the front. This is the center front. As you can see, that's the main fabric, but it has white, which means that's the lining, because we have gummed our cloth gum on it. So that particular one is serving as our lining. We used our main fabric because that's the lapel side, which is the center front. So we are arranging our lining first. That's the center, the side, front. So we'll be sewing all the way down. We'll also arrange the center front for the main fabric. Put the side front also by the side of the center front. We'll sew 0.5 all the way down. But because of the particular style we are making, we won't be sewing it all the way down. We'll be sewing from the shoulder, stopping at the waistline. This is totally optional. So in creating this particular style, from the waistline to the hem, we'll be cutting out 2 inches out, but we'll be slanting it from the hem to the waistline. So as you can see, we are taking out 2 inches, but we'll be going in by 1.5, leaving extra 0.5 for sewing. So from the hem to the waistline is 11. Remember, we added 1 inch, so it's supposed to be 10, but we added 1 inch for the hemming. So we'll cut it out. To cut out a piece that will be covering this particular cutout that we just made, you put your piece on fold, as you can see, then bring out your center front, the place you cut. At the waistline, make sure the piece that the allowance you are giving at that particular piece on fold is going to be half an inch. Then at the hem, you are taking 3 inches at the hem, so you have to slant it. It has to be on slant. It's never going to be a straight. because the waist side will be half while the hem will be 3 inches. As you can see, we are marking 3 inches at the hem. Then once you are done placing it very well, you cut it out. So this is also, you cut the excess at the top. As you can see, the waist one, that particular one is half while the hem is 3 inches. So this is our piece. We'll be using this piece to sew on our cutout at the center front, at the side of our piece on the front. So remember, this is looking somehow, it's not looking straight at the hem. You have to straighten it up by having a straight line, then cut it out. This is the piece for the second side of our front. I've already cut it out. So that's how it will be looking on the front. While sewing, you bring one side of the piece out, and the side front, you use your pin to hold it, and you are sewing with 0.5. You are sewing with half an inch. The same thing will be applicable on the other side of the center front. You sew at the side front by 0.5, the center front with 0.5. That's how you will sew this piece on the cutout. Then you also do the same thing on the lining. You do your cutout, you also cut out a piece to replace on the cutout that you did. So after sewing from your shoulder to your waistline, you stop, you iron it out. You do the same thing on the lining. Then at the piece that we just cut out, we'll iron our cloth gum on it. Sewing, this is how it came out, pretty nice. And while sewing guys, the 0.5 that we gave to sew, after using your pin to hold your piece and your center front, then you sew with 0.25, so that the remaining one will give you this illusion as if there is pocket on it. You are not going to sew the exact 0.5. you'll be sewing with your 0.25. That's your quarter. Then remember to tack at the hem. I don't know, it was off camera when we put our sleeve, but we have already done that, and I hope you guys already know how to put your sleeve on your bodies. That's the second sleeve. We have already done that. So this is the lining part. We are done with everything on the lining part, including the sleeve also, and the design, the cutout design. We have already inserted that. And also we gave 1.5 at the pattern paper for our seam allowance for shaping, so we'll shape with our 1.5. So this is our collar. We'll be cutting it in double, and here is the center of the collar, which is going to be on fold. Then we'll be cutting out the main fabric, and we also cut out the main fabric. It will also serve as our lining. We'll iron our gum stay on the one that will serve as our lining. Then we will sew it. Remember, on the pattern paper there is a place that we notched, and that is where our sewing will stop. That is the notched area. We will sew from one of the notched area all the way to the second side of the notched area. Then we'll iron it out, and after sewing, this is how it will look. We have already ironed it out, so we'll fold the two to get the center of the collar. Once you get the center of the collar, you match it on the center of the back. Use your pin to hold it in place. Then after you work your way with one of the side all the way to the center front, where you have your notched, where your collar will be stopping, then you arrange it. Once your collar reaches the notched area, you stop, then go over to the other side and arrange it also. Stop where you notched your collar. I'm actually trying so that my collar wouldn't pass where I notched on the front. So that is why you see me trying my best to arrange it very well to sit on that notched area. Repeat the same thing on the side. Remember to arrange your collar to stop where you notched on your center front. Once we are done arranging our collar, we'll have to bring our lining, get the center of the back matching with the center of the back of the fabric, the main fabric. Then you also arrange your lining all the way down to the lapel of the front. Once we are done, we'll be sewing with our 0.5 just at the neck area. We'll sew with 0.5. Once we are done, this is how it will look. Then, looking nice though, then we'll have to put the sleeve of our lining to the main fabric. So this is how you put it. You put it from the lining, you take it in to the main fabric. You do the same thing on the second sleeve. Then at the hem of our blazers, I later reduced the lining part by 1.5 inches. I actually didn't want the lining and the main fabric to be the same length, so that after sewing, the main fabric will go a little bit up, making it look neat. So we are sewing the hem after the neck. After sewing the neck, the next place to sew is the hem. Don't sew the side, don't sew the center front, that's the lapel side first. You sew the hem first before sewing the lapel side. After pinning, remember we'll be sewing with our 0.5. This is how it turned out. As you can see, the hem, that is what I mean by cutting the lining so that it won't be the same length with the main fabric, so that the main fabric can be able to enter inside a little bit. So this particular design we just created, just a design that just looked like a pocket with that our cutout, making it have that illusion as if there is pockets in there, but there's nothing there. There's nothing there. Just have a little bit cut, 3 inches, then you sew it inside out, then start you sew it and sew half an inch, making it double. That's all. So we'll be sewing our lapel and our sleeve. We'll enter inside our fabric again to sew the lapel side. Remember not to remove the sleeve from the lining. You arrange the center front, which is the lapel side. After arranging, you sew with your 0.5. At the hem area, remember to arrange that place very well, because that's how you keep it to look nasty. But just try to arrange it very well. By arranging it very well, you already know that the main fabric is entering inside the lining a little bit. So arrange it like that so that you have a very neat work. If you actually want yours to be straight at the center front, you sew all the way down straight. But I want mine to be a little bit curved, starting from the waistline. So I want it a little bit curved, entering inside, as you are seeing my hand direction. So from the cutout, I'll come out by 2 inches. Then I'll mark out, then go up a little bit. I don't actually want it all the way to the waistline, so I went up by 6 inches, then have my curve there. Later found out, if I like the way I did it separately, it didn't come out very nice. So I have to put the both of the center front together to have my curve cut out. So don't cut it separate, please. Put it together and cut it out together. This is what we have after sewing. We need to give it a good press. This particular space, that's where you have to follow to work if you want to work on anything. If you want to turn it outside, that's where you follow to work on it. So we'll be sewing the hem of our sleeve. We fold in at the lining by 0.5. We'll fold in also on the main fabric by 0.5. So after arranging it, as you can see, the main fabric is a little bit bigger than the lining with 0.125. After arranging it, you sew it all the way round. So guys, after sewing the hem of the sleeve, you can leave it, but for this design we have this ostrich feathers to be attacked on the sleeve. So we went up by 2 inches from the hem of the sleeve. We started from 2 inches to attach our ostrich feather. So our ostrich feather was I think 3 steps. So I made sure I sewed in the first one, which is the one you are seeing me working with now. I made sure I sewed it round, so that the second one I'll go up by 1 inch, but I'll be using my gun glue to attach the ostrich feathers on it, because my sewing machine can't enter inside again because the sleeve is too small. So I can't go around, so I have to use my gun glue. But you can still use your needle and thread, but because of this project is already, you know, it's been long, I've been working on it because I have other things I was doing. So but the owner of the dress is about to take it, so I have to be fast, so that's why I'm using this gun glue. If not, I'll be using my needle and thread. I prefer using needle and thread because it will hold it very firmly and it will last. You understand? So we are actually done with these pretty blazers. Like it's so super fine. Like the blazers, the neatness, the design is very fine, and the finishing is top notch. Hello guys, if you want to upgrade your trouser game, then this masterclass is just for you. You know, try and register with our online class on this masterclass for trouser making. Every type of trouser, jumpsuit, romper, play suit, your ball bottom trouser, your pencil, your stretch, your palazzo, your zipper fly on the front, your wet pocket, name it, anything about trouser. We are going to teach it on this class. So try to subscribe on this class. It will change your trouser game for good. And also the mouth-watering bonus we'll have on this class, how to draft your transparent Victorian corset top, is going to be a game changer. Just apply for this class. This is the end of this video. If you have not subscribed to our channel, try and subscribe and click the bell like button to be notified each time we upload a new video.